Hello guys, TF32 is back. Last time we left off, we defeated Gyoniku 2. And now we're moving on to the longest of the stage, and it's pretty misleading on the map, Gyoniku 3. It has a pretty tough boss too. Though the first time I actually fought that thing, I got by it without getting hit. And the good thing about all these enemies is that they're very lenient if you scroll them off screen. Hell, next to there's a squirrel enemy. There's a squirrel enemy that will never respawn. Now these Gemini laser platforms, they won't cause any forward momentum on you, so you just have to go along with them. They're just like the platforms from Ringman Stage in Mega Man 4. This is the longest and hardest stage for me. Did I die at all during this? No. Eee, that was close. It only gets worse from here though, especially with the death spikes. There are no weapons I need to fill. Safe to take out that cannon with the dragon cluster. Oh, I wish I had like a utility like the rush jet just so I could get along here, but no. You got to deal with the reflexes they require you to get through. This is by far the hardest stage in the entire game. Oh, I scrolled him off screen. Lovely. And be wary of that explosion that the squids cause. This is one of the main places where I die right here, because there's no real safe place to get by that cannon. Ugh. They are a lot tougher to get by than the ones from Ringman Stage. Alright. And you need the Bashiri gun to get those items up there. Unlike the Search Snake, it will actually grab the items and they will give them to you. I forget what the weakness of this guy is. If I remember correctly, Ice Lance is a weakness to many of the bosses in this game. But you need to shoot the shield, and hey, cool, it is. Those shots, they hurt a lot if they hit. And be aware that all these bosses have no invincibility phases. These spikes are not instant death, but they still hurt a lot if they hit. But he's dead. He'll shoot arcing shots, and you have to shoot the shield to make these spikes and platforms appear. The green logos down there, they represent platforms, while the red ones represent spikes. And now, let's save, and we'll move on to stage 4. I believe this is the rematch stage. I'll just be using all the weaknesses so I can speed this video up. I don't want it to take forever. All these bosses are pretty easy anyway. So, which boss am I going after first? We're going after Wave Nezumi, who has gray water. I still have no idea why the fire weapon works against the water type, but whatever. Ah, he still hit me. He could be a little tricky to get by. I think Ice Nezumi's on that side, and I really want to save him. And check it out. Butter Nezumi, he got his thing trade-in for a Mario pipe. For some reason, I could just never get by this guy without getting it. He has a Mario Pipe instead of a Milk Jug. But now, we're moving on to Dragon Nezumi. There was a lot of multitasking involved in this fight. And now we're moving on to Smoke Nezumi, who you could easily take out with the Shockwave. And yeah, he hit me. I don't really care as long as my health can easily be refilled. Up next is Usagi. He kind of acts a little bit like Search. Wait, his stage kind of reminds me of Search. Snake Man's. His stage reminds me of Snake Man's stage. Like the actual terrain of his stage. I don't think it's not the exact layout of his stage, though. I actually prefer him taking him out Buster only. He is a lot tougher to take out without the Buster. But now, we'll take out Milky Nezumi, which is actually harder than he was back earlier on. The thing is, now he has spikes up on the ceiling, and he did not have that in his actual stage. He's pretty easy, but just make sure to take him out from behind, and don't run into those stars. You can take him out with the smoke attack, whatever it's called. That might be what it's called, I'm not too sure though. This is the safest way I can come up with to dealing with him. I do not recommend using his weakness, since it's a lottery whether it hits him or not. And time for delay Nezumi. He is probably the trickiest. Just take him out with the Milky Rain. Just be careful, it's very easy to run out of ammo while fighting him. And believe it or not, I'm back at full health. Same strategy as ever, just the sliding mechanics in this game can be very tricky as well. That was a bad idea. Ooh. I do not like the ice physics in this game. I mean, even if you slide, it's still extremely difficult. Now it's time for Gyoniku himself. Just fire some dragon clusters at him. This all represents Dr. Mario and all that. He's not too hard if you use his weakness. Buster only, it's about the same, but after going through that boss rush, it's pretty relaxing to get a breather boss. So yeah, that was done. Yeah, I don't like boss rushes, but next up we'll be doing stage 5, and then I got an extra to show. See you then.